So good morning students. So today's topic that we would like to focus is the energy transfer in photochemical reaction and photosensitization and quenching, because two process or two step can happen. Okay, so first we will discuss about photosensitization in this session. Okay, and later in the any other or in the next or day after next session we will discuss about quenching. So in many photochemical reaction, the reacting substance is insensitive to incident radiation and does not absorb it. What does it mean? Suppose I have a light source of 320 nanometer light, okay, and the reactant molecule that I have and that I would like to observe in my case studies, that can absorb only 253 nanometer light. That means the light that I have is not sufficient or is not suitable for this reaction, because in the first law of photochemistry we observe that a particular wavelength light is absorbed by the molecule and that wavelength light is suitable for the said rearrangement or said for this particular photochemical reaction. That means this light whatever I have is not sufficient to do this thing. So at that condition what I can do, I can introduce a second molecule within this system which can absorb this light and transfer efficiently his energy in the excited state to the reactant molecule, and after getting the energy from this molecule, the reactant molecule can undergo the said rearrangement or reaction. So however, other foreign substance may be present which may absorb the incident radiation and transfer the energy to the reacting substance, usually by collision, okay, which will then react. The third substance or the foreign substance which itself does not undergo any change is called the photosensitizer, and the process is known as photosensitization. So what does it exactly mean, photosensitizer and photosensitization process? Because the substance that is present that doesn't have any active participation in the reaction, in the rearrangement that I'd like to observe, but what it can do, it can only absorb the energy from the light source and provide the energy to the reactant molecules so that the reaction can happen. So this is the purpose. So in presence of this substance the reaction can start, so that's why it's called the photosensitization. So it can sensitize the reaction, that's why it's called photosensitization. So among the common photosensitizer, the atomic photosensitizer that are frequently used are mercury, cadmium and zinc, and keep in mind that all these three atomic photosensitizers are very heavy element. Heavy in the sense they have very higher value of atomic and molecular weight. And the molecular photosensitizer that are generally used, such as benzophenone and sulfur dioxide. Okay, so this is the structure of benzophenone and this is sulfur dioxide. So here I would like to demonstrate a representative Jablonski diagram for the mechanism of photosensitizer. So this is the mechanism where I can observe. Consider a general donor acceptor system. Here I generally denote the photosensitizer or as the donor molecule, because it can donate its energy to the reactant molecule. That's why it is generally denoted as donor. And the acceptor molecule is generally used used in the sense that it can accept the energy and undergo the rearrangement. That's why it is the reactant molecule or acceptor. So here donor means the photosensitizer and acceptor means the reactant molecules. So consider a general donor acceptor system in which only the donor, that is the sensitizer, absorb the incident photon, and the triplet state of the donor is higher in energy than the triplet state of the acceptor A, that is the reactant. Okay, sorry, just a minute. That is the reactant in figure shown. That means what is there? This is the energy level of the donor molecules or donor atom, donor system. Better it can say donor system. So it is the ground state, that is S0. And this is the corresponding singlet state, and this is the corresponding triplet state of the donor molecules, and the acceptor molecules or the reactant molecules which will accept its energy should have the triplet state energy is lower than the corresponding donor energy. Okay, so initially what happened, when we excite the molecule is promoted to the singlet excited state, that is D1. Here 1 is for the multiplicity and S1 is for the first electronic singlet excited state. So it is 1D means the donor atom in the singlet excited state, and after it excited to the singlet excited state, it can undergo the intersystem crossing process and come back to the triplet excited state. 3D, 3 for the multiplicity. Okay, so after that, the triplet state energy at that condition should be higher than the acceptor molecule triplet state energy. That means the donor's triplet state energy is always higher than the acceptor triplet state energy, so that it can provide the sufficient energy to promote the molecule from the ground state to the excited triplet state. The next page I have to go. Just now, the absorption of photon produces the singlet state of the donor, that is 1D, that we have just observed in the previous diagram. Because once you excite the donor molecule with a suitable photon, so it can absorb the energy of the photon and promote it to the singlet excited state, that is 1D, which via intersystem crossing gives the triplet excited state of the donor, that is 3D. Just the below the singlet state, the triplet state is situated. Here one thing I have to mention, that why the singlet excited state of the donor molecule is not given to the reactant molecule or the acceptor molecules, because singlet state is very sensitive and it's not stable, because we know that singlet state 2 electrons are present in the same orbitals. So it's very difficult for this molecule, because this the lifetime, you can say the lifetime or the average lifetime of the singlet state is much shorter than the corresponding triplet state. So singlet state is very difficult for a molecule in the singlet state to donate its energy to another molecules. Rather, it can lose its energy and come back to the ground state easily. And another thing, the sensorizer molecule generally we observe in the atomic level or a molecular level are heavy atom, means cadmium, zinc, mercury. They are heavy atom, and in any of the discussion of the previous session, I mentioned that in case of heavy atom, the molecule cannot lose its energy instantly with colliding with the solvent molecules or other process, and because of this heaviness of their structure, they are not so much fluxional to lose their energy. So they have a high chance to undergo the spin orbit coupling, and the molecule can change its spin state from singlet to triplet. So that's why they can use as a sensitizer. Okay. So absorption of proton produces the singlet state of the donor, that is 1D, which via intersystem crossing gives the triplet excited state of the donor, that is 3D. The triplet excited state then collides with the acceptor molecules and producing the triplet excited state of the acceptor, that is 3A, and the ground state of the donor. That means once it reaches to the triplet excited state of the donor, it releases its energy, it donates its energy to the acceptor molecules or reactant molecules and come back to the ground state. And the acceptor molecules, after receiving this amount of energy, promoted to the triplet state, first triplet state. Okay. If the triplet excited state, that is 3A, gives the desired product, means after receiving the energy the triplet state of the means after receiving the energy, if the reactant molecule or the acceptor molecule gives the product instantly, okay, the mechanism is called the photosensitization. That means whatever product we would like to observe, if it is coming from the triplet excited state of the acceptor, then this reaction is known as photosensitization. If however the product of the interest result from the triplet state of the donor, then what happened in presence of A, the energy of the triplet excited state of the donor may getting loose. Okay, that means whatever product we would like to observe, it may come from triplet excited state of the donor molecules, but at the system we know that acceptor molecule A is present and which can snatch its energy. So because of the presence of this A molecule, the concentration of the excited triplet state of the donor molecule getting lowered because of the collision of these acceptor molecules. So the concentration of the product also getting lowered. So at that condition, we know this mechanism is known as quenching. Okay, that means in a process where the concentration of the active piece is getting lowered by presence of another molecules, this mechanism is called quenching. So if however the product of the interest result from the triplet D, then A is called the quencher and the process is known as quenching. The reaction depicting the photosensitization and the quenching may be represented as follows. Suppose this is the donor molecule in the ground state. After getting energy of sufficient photon, H nu, it's promoted to the first excited singlet state, that is 1D. and then it undergo intersystem crossing and reaching the triplet state of the donor molecules. At that condition, if the triplet state of the donor molecules interact with the ground state acceptor molecules and come back to the giving the energy to the acceptor molecules, the acceptor molecule is promoted to the triplet state of the acceptor, and the donor molecule come back to the ground state. So from the triplet excited state of the acceptor molecules, if product is coming, then is known as photosensitization. And if the triplet state of the donor molecule gives the desired product, then this mechanism is known as quenching. So it may be kept in mind that the triplet excited state of the sensitizer must be higher in energy than the triplet excited state of the reactant. That means, I'd like to here, the triplet excited state of the donor molecule must be higher in energy. That means the length of this must be higher than the length of this. Okay, so that means this molecule has sufficient energy to provide the energy to the molecules. It may be kept in mind that the triplet excited state of the sensitizer must be higher in energy than the triplet excited state of the reactant molecule, so that the energy available, that is enough to raise the reactant molecules to its triplet state. The dotted line in the figure link the transition in which the sensitizer lose energy with that in which the reactant gains energy. So here one thing I have to mention, or I have not mentioned previously, because how the triplet state energy of the donor receive the energy of the acceptor molecules, means how the donor molecule gives the energy and the acceptor molecule receive the energy, that is not means there is no such mechanism is available, because this is a non-radiative process in which the triplet excited state of the donor donates its energy to the acceptor molecules. Okay, so this is a non-radiative way, and this mechanism is not certain. That's why it's just giving the dotted lines, which tells that the energy of the triplet state of the donor just giving to the molecule which is present in the S0 state initially and promoted to the corresponding triplet state. Okay. The dotted line in figure link the transition in which the sensitizer lose energy and that in which the reactant gains energy. So photosensitization was first discovered by Frank and Carriot in 1922. So in the next session we will discuss about several mechanisms of the photosensitized reaction. Okay, till then, goodbye.